Hey, friends, welcome back to the Debt Sucks podcast, where we talk about real money, real struggles, and real plans that actually work. I'm your host, Ben Matthews, financial mythbuster, debt slayer, and the guy who's seen what really happens when good people make bad money moves. Last week's episode, Gratitude, Gravy, and Grown Up Money Moves, we talked about thankfulness, boundaries, and how to survive the holidays without your bank account needing CPR. Some of you told me it helped you set spending limits. Others said it saved your Black Friday sanity. And one listener even said it saved the holiday, which honestly is more than most coupon codes can do. But this week, I'll be honest, I'm a little uneasy because today's topic could easily be misunderstood. And the last thing I want is for someone to take what I'm about to say and treat it like a permission slip to do something stupid. So let's get this straight up front. I don't hate debt. Yeah, I said it. I'm not here to preach that every loan is evil or that you should live your entire life paying cash and churning butter. What I am saying is that debt is powerful, and powerful things demand respect. Used wisely, it can build homes, educate kids, and launch dreams. Used carelessly, it can wreck marriages, destroy credit, and keep you up at night staring at the ceiling. Debt isn't good or bad. It's just dangerous in untrained hands. So today, let's talk about how to handle it without getting burned. All right, quick heads up before we go any further. If your debt is already off the rails, like the kind of mess we talk about in the episode Dumbest Things I've Seen People Do with Money, this might not be the episode for you. Seriously, hit pause. Go download the Rockpile form at debtsucks.info and start getting your numbers together first. Because what we're talking about today is using debt, not surviving it. Still here? Good. Here's the thing. There are two types of people who get hurt by debt. First, the ones who are terrified of it. They freeze up, avoid the numbers, and let fear make the decisions. Then there are the ones who think they understand it. They treat debt like a harmless shortcut until it backfires and buries them. Both end up in trouble, just in different ways. Debt isn't cursed, and it's not harmless. It's a tool. And like any tool, if you don't respect it, you're going to lose a finger, and maybe your financial sanity along with it. So let's break it down, what debt really is and what it absolutely isn't. Segment 1, what debt really is and isn't. Let's start with what debt really is. Debt is renting money. That's all. You're borrowing someone else's money for something you want or need today, and you're paying them rent, aka interest, for the privilege. The problem starts when people forget that. Debt becomes dangerous when it stops being a tool and starts being a habit. The question isn't, is debt bad? The question is, what are you using it for, and do you have a plan to get out of it? If you're borrowing to move forward, cool. If you're borrowing just to survive or to impress people you don't even like, well, that's how the hole gets deeper. Debt that doesn't totally suck, number 1. Mortgages. Let's start with one of the few kinds of debt that doesn't totally suck. A mortgage. It's not evil. It's not magical. It's just a big, long-term deal that can actually give you something real. A roof, a foundation, and a little piece of stability in a crazy world. But let's be real. Buying a home right now is rough. Prices are inflated, competition's wild, and those historically low interest rates we saw a few years back, yeah, those are gone. I don't think we're seeing them anytime again soon, so it's time to adjust your expectations. And that's where people get tripped up. They let emotions drive the biggest purchase of their life. They chase the dream house instead of the right house. They get caught up in bidding wars, overextend, and end up house poor with granite countertops they can't afford to spill spaghetti on. Here's the truth. A mortgage only makes sense when it fits your life, not your fantasy. Buy what you can comfortably afford, not what lender says you can technically qualify for. Because lenders don't care if your kids can't play soccer or if you're eating ramen for the next decade. They just care that the payment clears. And once you do get that mortgage, don't just coast on autopilot for 30 years. Start attacking it early. Add an extra $100 a month straight to the principal. Or better yet, make half your mortgage payment every 2 weeks instead of once a month. That bi-weekly schedule sneaks in one full extra payment every year without you feeling it too much. And here's what that can look like. On a $300,000 loan at 6.5%, switching to biweekly payments could cut roughly 5 years off your mortgage and save you more than $60,000 in interest. That's not pocket change. That's a second honeymoon, a college fund, or an early retirement. And if you've already got a mortgage, good news. You don't have to wait for a refinance or a reset. You can start this right now. Just call your lender or set it up through your bank's bill pay system and start sending in those half payments every 2 weeks. It's one of the simplest ways to win back years of your life and keep thousands of dollars in your pocket. If your mortgage keeps you awake at night, maybe it's too big. And while we're here, stop treating your home equity like a piggy bank or personal ATM. That's not wealth. That's borrowing from your future self. Your home should make you feel safe, not stressed. That's what makes this one a debt that doesn't totally suck. Debt that doesn't totally suck too. Auto loans, until you can pay cash. All right, let's talk about cars. I get it. You need one to get to work, haul kids, and live real life. So yeah, sometimes an auto loan doesn't totally suck. A car loan should buy you transportation, not an identity. You're not auditioning for a rap video. You're just trying to get to your job without praying the check engine light behaves. And listen, you don't have to buy a brand new car every single time. New to you works great. That slightly used ride that someone else already took the depression hit on, that's a power move. It still smells fine once you hit it with a little Febreze. And if your car payment is eating half your paycheck, you didn't buy freedom. You bought stress on wheels. Because sometimes the best flex isn't rolling up in something shiny, it's rolling up without a finance payment. And here's the long game. Whatever you're driving now, or whatever comes next, plan for it to be your last financed car. You don't want to be making payments for your entire adult life like it's Netflix for vehicles. If you've managed to get a smaller or shorter car payment this time around, don't just spend the difference, save it. Start your next car fund now. That way, when this ride's done, you're in a position to pay cash for the next one, or at least borrow less and pay it off faster. Because real financial freedom isn't driving something flashy, it's driving something paid off. Segment 4, the gray zone, education and business loans. Now let's talk about the gray zone, student loans and business loans. These aren't automatically bad, but they're definitely the riskiest debts on the list. Why? Because the payoff isn't guaranteed. The end result depends on you, the market, and sometimes just plain luck. Student loans can open doors, but only if those doors still exist when you graduate. The economy is shifting fast, and entire industries are changing right under our feet. What used to be a safe, steady career path might not look the same 5 years from now. If you're going to borrow for school, make sure you're investing in a skill or a field that's built for the future, not fading with the past. The same goes for business loans. Borrowing to grow something solid and profitable can be smart, but borrowing to chase a trend or a dream without a clear plan, that's gambling, not investing. The world is moving quickly, and what makes money today might be outdated tomorrow. These debts are tricky because they sound like investments, but they can just as easily turn into anchors. The return on investment isn't guaranteed, and if the plan doesn't play out the way you hope, you're still on the hook. Debt that pays you back is powerful. Debt that just costs you time, stress, and sleep, well, that's not an investment. That's a warning sign. Segment 5, listener question. Should I aim to be debt-free? All right, let's hit a quick listener question. This one's from Jason in Ohio. Ben, I've got a car loan and a mortgage, but I make all my payments on time. Should I still be focused on getting totally debt-free? Jason, that's a great question, and I love where your head's at. But here's the deal. Being debt-free is an incredible goal, but it's not the only one that matters. The real win is being financially calm, what I call silent but wealthy. That means your money's working quietly and your bills are predictable and nothing in your financial life keeps you up at night. Debt-free isn't supposed to be a joy-sucking destination where you can't buy coffee or take a vacation until every balance hits zero. It's a direction, not a prison sentence. You work at it at a pace that keeps your life enjoyable and your stress low. If your debt is affordable, your shit happens fund is solid, and you're saving for the future without living in panic mode, you're already doing the important part. The goal isn't just to have no debt, it's to have no drama about money, because debt isn't the real enemy, chaos is. Segment 6. Once you've got debt, work the rock pile method. Now let's talk about what to do after you've taken on debt. You've got a mortgage, you've got a car loan, maybe a student loan or two. Cool, you made a plan. Now let's accelerate it. This is where the rock pile method comes in. Write down every debt, big to small, like you're building a pile of rocks. Then once you've got the basics covered and a little emergency fund saved, start attacking those debts one by one. Pay the minimums on everything except one and throw every extra dollar that you can at that one. Then when that's gone, celebrate and roll that payment on to the next one. That's how you pay off debt faster than you promised. And here's why that matters. You save thousands in interest. You lower your risk. You build momentum. You prove to yourself that you're in control. When you owe less, you sleep better. And every time you crush a rock, you get stronger.
Hey, let's get real for a sec. The Debt Sucks plan, it's awesome. It works, but not everyone has the time or the patience to chip away at their financial Mount Everest. Maybe you're drowning right now, like creditors calling your grandma, paycheck gone before it lands, sleepless nights count of drowning. Sound familiar? Listen, you don't have to white knuckle your way through this alone. Instead of spending years battling debt $1 at a time, I've got you. Bankruptcy isn't a failure, it's a fresh start. And sometimes hitting reset is the smartest thing you can do. At my law firm here in South Carolina, we take the time to listen to your story and help you figure out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you. No pressure, no judgment, just straight answers and real solutions. And if you don't live in South Carolina, don't worry. I can connect you with a trusted attorney in your state. Wherever you are, help is closer than you think. So if you're ready to stop the stress and start fresh, visit debtsucks.info to share a little about your situation or call my office for a free consultation. Let's find your path forward together, because sometimes you don't need a plan, you need a damn lifeline. Let me be that lifeline.
All right, here's what I want you to remember from today. Because if you tuned out halfway through to scroll Zillow or Carvana, this is the part that actually matters. Debt isn't good or evil, it's a power tool. Use it right and it builds your life. Use it wrong and it'll take your thumb off. Mortgages and car loans? Fine if they fit your real life, not your highlight reel. Borrow intentionally, not emotionally. If your debt came from impulse, it's not a plan, it's a tantrum with paperwork. And once you've got your debt, attack it with the rock pile method. Pay it off faster than you promised. The bank doesn't need a lifelong relationship. The goal is to be debt-free eventually. But it's not a joyless sprint to zero. It's a plan to buy back your peace and flexibility. Because freedom isn't about owing nothing. It's about not being owned by anyone. All right, if you want to see how your debts really stack up, grab the rock pile form at debtsucks.info. It's free, it's fillable, and it'll show you exactly where your financial boulders are and how to start smashing them one by one. Now here's your challenge for the week. Pick one big move and actually do it. Either throw an extra $100 at your mortgage or start your next car fund with the cash you'd normally waste on drive-through treat yourself days. That's how you flip the script from debt dragging you down to you calling the shots. And if this episode hit home, don't ghost me. Subscribe. Share it with a friend who's still making minimum payments and drop a review so more people can stop letting debt run their lives. Because remember, adulting is hard. Debt makes it harder. But being intentional, that's how you win. Until next time, stay grounded, stay weird, and stay in control, my friends.